English speakers, what up? How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Bitcoin, a lot of green. I was watching it over the weekend. I was watching it moving up last night, and I decided to make some moves because you got to take advantage, right? You got to dance to the song that they put on. So right here, I have my notes. Veracity. We're going to talk about Veracity. They've been pumping, and I'll give you the reasons why. We're going to talk about a crypto project called Synverse. My Spanish speakers know audience knows all about these cryptos. Unfortunately, I've only started recently doing videos, so I got to catch you guys up to speed too. All right, so we're going to talk about Synverse. We're also going to talk about the other tokens that I bought because I did go in relatively heavy last night, adding to my bags. About Rio, Trias, GFAL, NACA. We're going to look at those charts because things are starting to move. Now, is it a fake out? Should we be careful? We should always be careful. But we'll get to all that stuff. We'll also probably look at Bitcoin first because Bitcoin's got us at the table, right? And so without further ado, let's do this. We got a lot to cover, guys, so let's try to get this done quickly. Bitcoin last night, so I was watching this, watching this do its thing, over the weekend, and then last night it started moving. I was like, oh boy, what's this all about? So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I have a bunch of tokens that I still want to pick up. I've been watching Veracity as well, and it started to move a lot. So once Bitcoin moves, eventually the altcoins start to move as well. All right, so I'll do a technical analysis probably Tuesday or Wednesday, more complete about Bitcoin. What I think, could this be a fake out? Too early to tell. We have to see. Eventually, maybe we have to retest here to see it is and come back up. Apparently, Bitcoin has had these upside wicks as high as 8%, would put it around 9,400 or somewhere up here. So to get up there to kind of invalidate an upside wick, but I mean, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty strong. Now, previous to all these moves, we've always given them back, right? We've always given them back. Always given them back. As you can see here, and eventually here, right? So for the most part, on this kind of area, because then that makes sense. This is no man's land, guys. If you watch my videos that I put out, I've told you the difference, between under this level, 25,179, and above this level, 30,000, basically bull market, basically lower part of the bear market, and this no man's land, the transition phase from one to the other. All right, so that's what's going on. But maybe we're just oscillating. Check this out really quick. I was looking at creating this one here to try to make it a little bit more simple. This is the end of the year. Look what we've been doing since we've been here. It's just basically a channel, right? 17th of March 2023. A couple interesting things real quick. Bull market support band. We're over the bull market support band, and usually that's pretty good. When we're up here, this would say that we are in a bull market or in bullish territory. Under here, it's not. All right, so this is something that's interesting that we got to look at. Are we still in a good accumulation area? Yes, we are, because up here is where you sell, down here is where you buy. So we are still in a good accumulation area. This is the Bitcoin halving as of right now. So very interesting. But first here, focus is here for now. All right, let's get rid of this stuff. So we're still in a good accumulation area, guys, but down here probably could have been better, but there's always deals. And that's not. Now let's get ready to talk about the low caps, because that's really what we're here for, right? To make life-changing gains. And look at this one. This is a good start to life-changing gains. As you can see, I'm looking at Veracity chart. This is on the 1 day. Now, this started going a few days ago, right? But then last night also it started pumping as well. I've been buying all this basically, and I have had really close to getting my bags. I was waiting to fill my bags for it to get here, but once it did this and was like here, I'm like, you know what? Last night I'm like, you know what, let me right here, it went up to this high, right, to 47, 48. That's where I started making my final buys, right here. But it wasn't a whole lot left, thank God. The majority was down here. I'm already in good profits on my Veracity bag. I wanted to reach 1 million. I got 1 million tokens last night, not in total, but there was only like a couple 100,000 that was left to do. So throughout this weekend, and then last night I just finished it off to get to 1 million, because I'm like, okay, in anticipation of this. Now, why this? Well, because And people must have known early, huh? But Veracity burns 50% of its maximum supply following a landmark community consultation. These guys will listen to the community, guys, all right? So one of the worst things about Veracity, if you didn't know, was their tokenomics. They had like 190 billion max supply, and now what is currently in circulating supply, which is 10 billion, all right? So the difference between 10 billion and 190 billion is huge, right? Because of the dilution, because of the inflation, right? So the difference between the circulating supply and the max supply, let's actually look. And look, 24% in the 24 hours, 14%. Last 7 days, 52%. People knew. So circulating supply right here says 10.2 billion. All right, max supply 110 billion. And so the fully diluted and the market cap were way off. And that was the big kicker. That was like why people were like, no, I don't like tokenomics of this coin. Tokenomics sucks. And you know what? Tokenomics suck. But these guys listen to the community, because the community is like, hey, change the tokenomics, get rid of the 90 billion like you guys have said you were gonna do, and then burn your war chest. On top of that, we won't be happy until you burn your war chest. War chest is 10 billion tokens that they had that they wanted to essentially use to market, to grow their company, to buy other entities or whatever the heck they had to do, right? A war chest, so to grow the company. But they were like, you know what? And that's a lot of money. 10 billion. I don't know exactly what that price is, but I mean, it's not chump change. And so they were like, okay. This morning they come out with the news that, okay, fine, we're gonna burn the war chest of 10 billion, right? And we're also gonna ensure the 90 billion, right? That we've already mentioned about, because they already mentioned that was never going to see, the 90 billion were never going to see the light of day. Basically, that was for their proof of view, for their technology as like marker tokens on the inside internally. So it would never have been added to the circulating supply. But they basically said, okay, we're gonna move those 90 billion tokens to a new blockchain that we're gonna look for. But those 90 billion tokens will never be part of the circulating supply. And so in essence, after they burned the other 10 billion, in essence, the 10 billion that is currently in circulation is all that will ever be in circulation. So essentially, we have no more inflation. We have 100% tokens in circulations, and we have a fantastic tokenomics. We have perfect tokenomics. And this is the great thing about listening to the community, because if you do that, right, and the community is not always right, but hey, sometimes they have points, and a good team will listen and decide accordingly. And here's the point. Okay, do the tokenomics, and look what happened. All right, yeah, we've given back some up a little bit, but I mean, that's a really nice pump. Let's measure that really quick. 72% at the top of this wick. 72% is pretty good, and I'm pretty sure it's going to keep on pumping once people start seeing this. It's still relatively early, right? Because we're not anywhere near all-time highs. The all-time highs were 8 cents, but now we have less tokens. This thing is going to fly, and so that's why I wanted to reach my goal. I wanted to get a million Veracity, because I think it could get to $1 per Veracity, especially now, since they did the token burns and did this. So this stuff all came out. Pretty cool stuff, guys. Pretty cool stuff, and that's essentially why this pump, why these huge green candles. And so seeing all this, anticipating all this, once I saw this happening, I started to just which was that was on Thursday. Yeah, so from Thursday on, I started to really Friday, Saturday, and finishing off last night. The last 3 days, just buying to get to where I needed to be, and I did it, and that's it. Now I can just sit back and chill and wait to see what happens with Veracity. Now, as you saw, it's still pretty good. It's still under a penny, guys. It's still under a penny. It can get to $1, in my opinion, now with the tokenomics. People were like, no, I can't get to $1 because it has 190 billion that's going to come out. No, now it has 10 billion, so it can get to $1. So that's really good news. Yeah, and so that was one of the ones that I was buying a lot. Now another one that I bought a lot that last night is in gaming. Veracity, interestingly enough, would be tagged under gaming as well. Let's see what the tags are. So annoying. I don't like this new layout of. Okay, AI, big data, collectibles, and NFTs, and gaming. Let's see what other tags I have. Entertainment, payments, video, proof of work, Ethereum ecosystem, metaverse, some pretty good narratives right there. Metaverse, AI, big data, gaming. Gaming is going to be huge. I think it's going to be. I'm collecting more gaming plays, or adding to my gaming bag, because I think it's going to be a huge narrative, that and real world assets. But anyways, okay, so we saw that. I mentioned that, right? What it's doing burns 50% of its maximum supply. That's basically historical, by the way. One of the largest community consultations in crypto history. Today, one of the biggest burns in crypto history is what it should say somewhere around here, but I'm pretty sure. Today's 10 billion burn represents one of the largest single burns of any crypto project to date. Good job, Veracity. Good freaking job, Veracity. I'm so happy that I picked you guys up. Really, that's cool. And this is gonna keep pumping. So let's look at the market, guys, because those of you that have never been in a bull run, oh guys, you're gonna love it. Look at these 24 hours. Look at this. Actually, let me put it on my watch list, and we're gonna go through it. And then I'm going to talk about Synverse, all right? Okay, last 24 hours. Okay, so I click here, last 24 hours. Look at the movement here. 17%. I don't own Genome's down, but I watch it. Genome's down. 17% last 24 hours, 13% for the last 7. Synverse, we're going to talk about that next. Last 24 hours up 12%, 8% for the week. Look at this. The market cap 1.4 million. I think it's actually okay. It's right around there, and the volume 766,000, and it's got over 50% in circulating supply. All right, and by the time the next bull run comes around, it's going to be around 70%. So keep that in mind. And I'll tell you why. These two, Veracity and Synverse, I decided over the weekend to fill my bag on both. So this is filled, and Synverse, I also filled my bag. I wanted to also reach 1 million, and I got it really, really cheap. We'll look at the graphs there too. 12%. Veracity, 40, almost 50% the last 7 days, 11% in the last 24 hours, almost 12% in the last 24 hours. And these horrible tokenomics, which will represent 9%, is actually at 100. FabWelt, have a crappy week, but actually getting it all back in the last 24 hours. And this is the thing, guys. These numbers right here, guys, that you see 43% in the last 7 days, are gonna be nothing compared to when the bull run comes. These numbers are like 50, 60, 70, 100, 200, 300 in the last 7 days. In the last 24 hours, 200%, 300%. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, and that's why I believe things like Veracity can reach it, and I've experienced it. I took 5 figures, and not knowing anything, gotten in on 2018, investing really essentially for the first time. Although I did have experience working for brokers, forex brokers, and everything, still I didn't know anything, and I managed to just stumble my way from 6 figures to 7 figures. I lost the majority of it because it was my first bull run, and I made the mistake of what I did, which is badly investing in other projects instead of just sitting there in liquid and waiting for the bear market to come back. I didn't do that, but that's a story for another day. But still, big huge lessons, and I made it in crypto, not knowing anything. This time around, I know a lot more. I'm not going to make the same mistakes, and I plan on making some huge money. But my point is that I've seen it, and this is nothing. Although this screen looks awesome, all this green, all these tokens that are up pretty big, still nothing. 43% is nothing in 7 days. Checked out. I do own it. This is pretty good. 6%, 8% last 24 hours. CTI. Safe Haven has woken up 22% in the last 7 days. I gotta look at it again. I was bullish on Safe Haven. It's on the VeChain ecosystem. Let's see. WattsPay, what did it do? 7%. Things are waking up, guys. Things are waking up. That's another point. Triaz is one that I love. It's one to be my biggest holding, and I want to get like 3,000 tokens, and I'm like 400 away, something like that. But it's gonna get more expensive. It's up 30% in the last 7 days, $3.43. I was buying a lot lower. Let's see. UBXS, no, and then everything else, Stobox 5%, relatively mundane. Chain has been moving a lot lately, but the last 7 days only up 5%. Nakamoto Games is a beast, guys. Is a beast. 34% in the last 7 days. Unbelievable. It moved against me. I wanted to have a lot more tokens than I have, but I was only able to put in what I could because it just started moving against me, and I wasn't going to chase any pumps. And so maybe that was a bad decision, but I have to ride with the bag I have, unless this goes back down to like below 60 cents, which I highly doubt. So I have to ride with the bag that I have and deal with it, and take that money that was earmarked for that and put it in different projects. One of them was Synverse. Radio Network, I've been accumulating a lot. You can get this at like 16 cents, 17 cents on OKX. Okay, so don't buy it at 26 cents. It's up 4%. That's another thing about CoinMarketCap. Sometimes these numbers are slightly off. VeChain, I own a good chunk for free, basically. Games for a living, no. Yes, I do. I bought some of this. Yes. Tokenomics suck, but I bought some of this, and I'll pick up a little bit more. Although I actually like Synverse better. Watching Sidus, Galactic Quadrant, haven't bought. Not a bad area. Credify, Gaming Play, Intuit, Labs, having a bad week. But I think that's not a bad thing if you're still accumulating. I've hit my quota. I'm done. Ecta, lost money on that one basically. I don't know if it's ever coming back. Okay, cool. So that's an idea on my watch list, and we have time to look at Synverse. But look at these charts, man. And now you saw all of that. Look at the charts. Alright Chain, which wasn't having a great week because it's consolidating, probably waiting to move up again. But this is a good area. And remember, if you look out, zoom out, it's a really good area. Although it's pumped a lot recently, relatively speaking, it hasn't. It's still at a very low area, low rate to buy. I've hit my mark. I'm done. I'm just waiting. I bought all this basically and some of this to finish it off, and now I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. Triaz, this pump. When I saw this here over the weekend, I was like, you know what? Let me start just trying to fill it what I can, and then I'm gonna wait for a pullback. Hopefully it does, because it has shown that it does pull back relatively strong, within these lines. So maybe I can get it for back here, but I don't know. We'll see. Under 333 is what I would like to get it at. Again, just finish up my backs holding there. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's talk about Synverse, because I filled my bag. And why? Because I think it's going to be a good project, and I think it can move really well. And also where it's at, it's all-time lows, guys. Basically, it has moved up, but I mean, I picked it up before this pump, bought it here, I believe, waited, maybe nibbled, I think, tiny bit below this line, and then finish it off here. I was like, you know what? While I still have it here, I'm going to take advantage, because things are taking off. I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm thinking things could take off. So, but I mean, it has a long wick and it came back down. So we'll see. Maybe it was a bit premature, but still, you buy it here, it's great. When it goes up, you're gonna make a killing. 0.0026. I have 1 million tokens now, and I bought it for extremely cheap, probably about as cheap as you can buy them. So I mean, my buy, unless it goes lower, which right now, considering the way the market is looking, I don't think so. So I mean, this could be the floor, and it's a risk, yes, but I mean, it could pay off. And how much could it pay off? Well, let's look at that, guys. I'm glad you asked that question. So this is the coin perspective. All right, I got Synverse here, the current price, and circulating supply. Remember, I mentioned it could probably be around 70%, so I have it around 71%, right here. Changing this, so that would bring it to 709 million over of the whole 1 billion. And look at these numbers. Now, let's start at $1 billion. Actually, let's start slightly under. All right, just because for me to get to $1 million, I just need $1, right? That starts at like 700 million market cap. You'd think, what? But didn't I just talk about the fact of how crazy the bull markets can get? So especially a gaming token, that the gaming sector is super volatile. So this to get to 700 million is like nothing. That's $1. That's a 376x from current prices. I think any token that I invest in, I think the reason why I invested it, because I think it has a chance of getting to $1 billion. That would be $1.43. That's all, almost $1.5 million, 546x. But it can also get a little bit more, right? If it really goes parabolic, I think it can hit 2.2 billion. That's $3.05. That's 1,170x. All right, if it gets into the top 30, and it doesn't have to stay there. And obviously, at that point, the top 30 is going to be much higher. The market caps are going to be probably in the tens of millions to even reach the top 30. Tens of millions, 20, 30 million. Billion to reach the top 30. So 2.2 billion in a parabolic bull run is doable, guys. Believe me, it is doable. I've experienced it. I've seen it. $3.05. That would be like $3 million on just one project, on an investment of less than $3,000 right now, where you could pick it up for. something to think about. And I think we're gonna just leave it at that, guys. All right. Again, I also bought games for a living. Let me show you Nakamoto games, and just why it got away from me. And I just look at this. You know, I was waiting here, and I thought maybe we would. I was waiting here. I picked up here, but I was like, let me be patient because, you know, we'll probably reject here and come back down here, and I'll be able to buy here what I can and start filling my bags here. It didn't happen. It just went against me. So I'm like, let me wait, see if it comes back here. It didn't. I picked up some more here, and then nothing. Once I saw that, I think I picked up one more to round out where I was at. The number that was close to, like from like 19 to 20, for example. So just to round it out, I picked up one little bit there, and that's it. And so here it is, yeah, and around 70 cents, whatever. But that was nothing. The majority of it I bought here, or actually here, and here. So I'm in good profits right now, but it will be better, but I can't chase it. Let's see if it comes back down, but I don't know. It looks really strong, guys. It looks really strong. Still, let's give it perspective, right? If you're not in the project yet, perspective is it's still pretty good. We're still down here, and I feel like this thing is gonna easily, I think 100x even from the current levels, all right, or 80x, 90x from the current levels, guys. Okay, so I mean, hey, take that for what it's worth, and it's gonna be good. I think this is gonna be one of the biggest ones. Another one that I think is gonna be big, but because of the tokenomics, it's probably gonna top out at like 50x. Because of the tokenomics. But look at this, since inception, game for a living, and I've been buying here because I'm like, it's probably maybe the lowest I'll get. I'm waiting, well, pullback, but I have been buying. So, and what else? Nakatrios Rio. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to show you guys. All right, so we'll leave it at that, guys. All right, if you guys can, give a like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll reply to everything. All right, let me know what you guys want to see, how I'm doing so far. The information I got is good, so. Hope you guys keep coming back. We'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a great week ahead. I hope you like the cryptos that I put in your radar, or that you know about. Give you more info on them. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Synverse if you never heard about it. And let me know what you think about the tokenomics of Veracity and their team. I think a lot of good things, as I mentioned. All right, talk to you guys later. Peace.